Hey folks, Kylie at Games Unlimited, coming at you today from inside my still very messy office and overstock area of the new storefront, but I'm excited to have a real office. What I'm going to do today is give you an overview of the new releases that came in. This is in lieu of the unboxing. We're probably going to have to change a little bit about unboxings or forgo them entirely for a while. We're getting so much product in and we're having such great foot traffic in the store that it's not quite feasible to do them right now. But I do want to let you know about all the great new releases that have come out. So let's get started. This week we got in Arkham Noir Volume 2. So these are solitaire games. You can play completely solo. I don't even think there's rules for multiplayer other than just kibitzing together. And this is number 2, but you don't have to play them in order. They are an interconnected set of stories, and unlike escape room games, these are replayable. So how you shuffle the deck is going to determine what you have to do, the way that you're going to have to play the game, etc. It's just a nice, quick, half-an-hour solo game with a lot of Lovecraft feel to it. This actually came in last week. We only got a few copies of it. It was a brand new one out of Asmodee, and I went home and played it and absolutely loved it. So I ordered a bunch more, and now I want to talk to you about it. This is Trails of Tucana. This is a roll and write style game, really a flip and write in the vein of Cartographers or Welcome to. This one plays super quick. It's like a 15-minute game. You're going to flip 2 cards, and whatever 2 landscapes are on that card, so in this case you've got water and I believe that is forest, you're going to draw a line between a water hex and a forest hex on your board. You're trying to connect certain things on your little player sheet. There's bonuses for being the first to connect certain things, but just a ton of fun. There's actually it's a double-sided player sheet, so there's a shorter game that you play 2 rounds and a longer game for 3 rounds. I've had a blast with this, been able to play it with my 6-year-old. Just a great family game. I think this is going to be a flip and write that we're talking about for a lot of years. Another mystery game sequel. This is the second Sherlock Files game. So Sherlock Files came out, I don't know if it was early this year, late last year, and they are escape room type games. So this is a series of 3. You can play them in any order, but there's 3 missions in here. What makes them interesting and unique is that you're going to shuffle up the deck, deal out the cards evenly distributed amongst the players, and you have the basics of the mystery you're trying to solve, but each player on their turn has to choose a card from their hand. Sorry, I don't believe you don't deal out the whole deck. You deal out cards to each player. Each player is going to have to choose a card from their hand to either put face up on the table as open information for everyone, this is cooperative, or decide, this is a red herring, I'm going to discard it so that we don't have to worry about it. And the reason you need to discard things is, once we've gone through the whole deck, all the cards that are face up on the table, public knowledge, we can discuss, try to solve the mystery. But any cards on the table that turned out to be red herrings that we didn't need, we're going to lose points at the end of the game. So as you go along, you're learning stuff from the other players. I'm going to know things on cards I discarded that maybe I shouldn't have, but that is important. I can't talk about it until the end of the game, though. So it's really, really cool system. Takes you about 45 minutes to an hour to play a game, and now we've got 3 more to deal with. Moving on, actually, let's go ahead and do even more escape room games. Very popular right now, these escape room games. So this is the Unlock series. This was one of the first ones to come out, and now it used to come in smaller $15 packages. Now they come with 3 in a box for $29.99. This is actually my favorite form of the escape room games, personally. It's just a deck of cards. There's an app you can use for timing and to get some clues and things, but really, you just need the deck of cards. They're not replayable, but you can pass it off to the next person. And it's just a lot of looking at the cards, finding clues. There's little numbers that if you can see them and add them together, it'll tell you what other card you need to pick up. Gosh, there are probably, more than a dozen, far more than a dozen of these out now, including a Star Wars one that came out last week, 2 weeks ago. But now we've got a new set. This is the Epic Adventures. This is the one I'm most excited about. The 7th screening, something to do with classic horror movies. So that's super cool. All right, moving on to some strategy games. We got the new Shem Phillips title, Viscount of the West Kingdom. So this is part of his series. It started with Raiders of the North Sea. He's always done trilogies. So this is the 3rd of the West Kingdom series after Architects and Paladins, and I have it on good authority from people that this is far and away the best one. A smorgasbord of different mechanics in this. He's introduced deck building, I think, for the first time in his games. It's got a rondel. The cards have multiple purposes, so you're really trying to think, where do I want to go in order to do this, but I'm going to get that bonus from a card. Just a lot in here. It's got me excited about giving it a try. Of course, if you've played his other games and love them, this is a no-brainer for you. You're definitely going to want to pick that one up. One that I'm going to maybe take home and try tonight is Paleo from Z-Man Games. This is a new co-op game where you play as a prehistoric tribe of people working together to, the end game is kind of interesting. It's just you're trying to get 5 victory points, put 5 cave paintings up on the wall before you get 5 skulls. But what I think is really cool about this is you've got this deck of cards, and there are different scenarios in the game. So every game can be different depending on the scenarios you use. But you're going to deal out cards to each player is going to have a deck of cards. Now the cards have different backs, so you can look at the back of the card and know, oh, this is a hazard. Oh, this is going to take me into the swampland where maybe I can get some food. This is going to take me into the grassland, etc. So you have some idea, but at the start of each round, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, the backs of them, and decide where you want to go. Now, generally you wouldn't want to go to a hazard, but the 2 cards you don't choose go back on top of your deck. So eventually you're going to have to deal with things. So everyone chooses one and you talk about it. Maybe that person will go to the hazard while everyone else can stick around with something safer to help them. You'll flip over your card and then have to deal with what's on it. Usually it's, if you can do X and Y, you'll get Z. Sometimes the hazard says you have to do a certain thing, but you can also choose to help the other players instead of working on your card. So a lot of interesting teamwork and communication going into Paleo. And plus I really like, it's got three-dimensional elements that just look really, really cool. And the last one, if I can lift it, is the re-release, remastered edition of Sidereal Confluence. Now this game came out, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago now, and was an immediate hit amongst people who like trading and negotiation games, because this is a very big, expansive, free-form negotiation game. Everybody plays a different alien race. There are a bunch of them in the box. Every alien race can create new technologies, which everyone will be able to use. They can create certain raw materials, and all of the trading, all the negotiation is completely open. Everything's on the table. What you want to trade, what you want to do. Plus, all trades are binding. So even if I make an offer that if you give me this, I'll give you something else on a future turn, you can't renege on that. So it's a really cool game. I haven't actually had a chance to play it, but I know many, many people, if you're into that kind of negotiation, heck, even if you just like the negotiation in Catan and want to try something a little heavier, I definitely recommend the new version of Sidereal Confluence. All right, that's it for the new releases this week. You can order on our e-commerce site for curbside pickup. Come on down to the new store and check it out. We'll be happy to talk about games with you. I'm Kylie at Games Unlimited, and as always, go play some games.